Okay, so I'm here to introduce Swym. My name is Jason Morse. I'm VP of Strategy at a company called Criteo. Prior to my current role, I ran our mobile and user match products. And I've been doing mobile and mobile ad tech now for about 20 years. That makes me both old, but it also makes me experienced in something that's happened nearly every year since about 2002, which was, this is going to be the year of mobile. It never happened until about 2013, 2014, when all of a sudden it did, and no one was ready. So we had about 10 years to get ready, and particularly for those of us that were working with e-commerce and online measurement, there were huge, huge holes. That's why when I first met Swym and Arvind and I sat down, I was really impressed. I knew immediately I was going to enjoy working with him. His team is solving those hard problems of user experience, measurement, to bring a really strong return on investment to e-commerce and retailers. I know I'm going to enjoy working with them in the future. I've chosen to invest in their seed round. He and his team have an enormous passion to solve this problem. I think they're going to do it great. I think you're going to really enjoy his presentation on what he's working on. So please join me in welcoming Arvind, CEO and founder of Swym, to the stage.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much. Wow. You've been great support, Jason. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. I'm Arvind Krishnan, co-founder and a CEO at Swym. Swym helps e-commerce companies make more money by stitching together their shopper activity across devices and personalizing the journey. We're currently doing this for over 1,500 e-commerce stores. Here's why what we're doing matters. These are recent e-commerce trends from the first quarter of this year. And as you can see, the shift to mobile is clear. Close to 75% of traffic to these sites is coming in on a mobile device. But that 75% is yielding less than 40% of sales. If you're a marketer at one of these companies, you're staring at a big problem. More and more of your traffic is shifting to a medium that's not converting very well. To understand why that gap is so huge, let's take a look at a typical customer journey. This is Jenny, and Jenny is looking for a new pair of running shoes. She starts her journey on her mobile phone as part of her morning commute. She makes a little bit of progress, and then she gets interrupted and abandons that session. A couple of days go by, Jenny suddenly remembers those shoes again and decides to check them out, but this time she's at the office and so uses her work computer. A new device on the same journey, but she has to find those shoes again. She struggles to find them on the site, but eventually does, makes a little more progress, and gets interrupted again. Sound familiar? This is all of us. We're all doing this more. We're switching devices more and more, and we keep getting interrupted more and more. And that ends up causing a lot of abandoned sessions. Marketers know this. They also know that even though we're switching, we still expect a seamless experience. And they want to be able to meet that expectation. But here's the challenge. Shoppers log in less than 10% of the time, which means that marketer has no idea that those two sessions were part of the same user's journey, which means there's no continuity in the experience that the user is seeing, resulting in a lot of friction and frustration for that user. That's the challenge Swym's taking on. Understanding the customer journey better and delivering a personalized experience for the journey that they're on is what we're doing. Once Swym is deployed on a site, we capture all of the user activity that's happening there. And a core part of our IP is being able to leverage that data to detect patterns between devices and users and identify those users. And because we can do that, that same journey looks a lot more like that. User-centric as opposed to being device-centric. Understanding that journey completely gives us the ability to build a very deep and unique shopping profile of that user along two dimensions. The first is about the user and their devices, who they are, their social profiles, and their general shopping preferences. The second is on the product axis, which products they care about, what specific actions they've taken on those products, and interesting metadata that we think is relevant for the journey they're on that we can surface in front of them. We then bring both of these important dimensions together in very turnkey fashion and make it a personalized solution out of the box. The fact that we understand what the user is looking to accomplish allows us to truly tailor the journey for them. We might send them relevant email with just the right context at just the right time that brings them back to the site, or contextual notifications on site that reflect their shopping intent, or even a personalized product page that highlights the attributes that matter to them over others are just some examples. Why does this matter? This matters because this is the new expectation on mobile. Think of any mobile service that you use. We expect it to be personal. We expect it to understand what we want and be in tune with that objective. Shopping is no different, and we're trying to deliver that out of the box. We know this works because on the back of this personalization, we've been able to deliver a 20% lift in average revenue per shopper for our early customers. 20%, with no additional media spend, no extra code to write. That lift has led to massive early traction for us. We've added over 1,000 sites in just the last 12 weeks on the back of that lift, all on Shopify. Our customers have given us such glowing feedback that Shopify announced last week that we were promoted to a featured app partner in their ecosystem. That credibility is huge because it's now opening doors to allow us to move up the chain. Exciting as that Shopify traction is, this is just the beginning for us. The real opportunity that we're going after, which are the mid to large retailers, collectively did over $120 billion in sales last year. And these stores are running their e-commerce sites on a handful of platforms. We started with the first one as our sandbox so we could validate the offering and test out the hypothesis, and we're getting there. But now that that's falling in place, we will start integrating into these other platforms this summer. This is a space we understand really well. I spent several years at Microsoft and Yahoo building our personalization engines for our ad platforms, and I have a deep appreciation for what this takes at that scale. I'm also fortunate to be surrounded by a team that has solid domain expertise, has a healthy balance of Fortune 500 and startup experience, but most importantly, is a hungry unit that has proven that we can work well together and execute. That traction you saw is a direct outcome of that execution. Swym is having incredible momentum. We're growing 30% month over month, adding over 100 new stores every week. We will be live in 10,000 stores before the end of the year. Those unique shopper profiles that I talked about, which are our most significant and strategic data asset, are growing at the rate of a few thousand users every day. And we're on track to hit 10 million users in the next 12 months. That scale is important because once we get to that point, the network effects start to kick in and accelerates our growth towards the larger retailers much, much faster. Swym is changing the way consumers are going to shop on mobile. We're fortunate to be backed by investors from companies like Amazon, eBay, and Criteo. Very smart individuals that totally understand the space and where it's headed. And we're fortunate to have them in our corner. I'm Arvind. I'd like to invite you to join us on this very exciting journey with us. Thank you for your time this evening.